Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If you didn't know, I'm a diagnosed narcissist, but before I say the things I'm going to say in this video, keep in mind that I am not a licensed professional, so with that out of the way, there's something that I don't quite understand about myself in my basically narcissistic predicament. Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious if you've seen a lot of my videos that, I mentioned that I don't have a clear sense of self. My arrogance is not real. It's a mask, it's a facade, it's a compensation, and it's something that I put on because I genuinely do not feel good about myself. If I don't feel good about myself, I just feel empty, non-existent, pretty much like I'm fucking dead, to be honest. Like I feel like I'm dead all the time if I don't have my narcissistic persona, or I feel like shit. So, as far as I know, those are the only things that make up my sense of self, if you can actually call that a sense of self, because it's very arbitrary and blurry, and I never feel secure about anything. I always feel like something's wrong, something doesn't make sense, something's gonna screw up, or whatever. And I tell myself that I can only rely on myself. I tell myself that the only person that's ever gonna have my back is me. But truth be told, when I say those things to myself, I don't actually mean them because there's a very insecure, very low in spirit person behind that narcissistic facade. And as much as my narcissistic facade is trying to tell me that I am the best and I am the greatest thing ever and everything else is fucking stupid except for me, I don't actually believe it. I don't actually believe it, so I don't understand why I keep saying it to myself. I like I don't know if I can trust anything that I say to myself. I don't know if I can trust anything that I can hear from anybody else because object constancy's a bitch, and I don't know if I'll ever reach a point in my life where I feel like I have a good support system, support network, or whatever. And it feels unfair because perhaps the friends in my life genuinely do care about me. The supposed people that actually care about me, even my family to a certain extent, even if like a lot of times I feel like that shouldn't be the case, because if you know from a lot of cluster B disorders, a lot of it is often from childhood neglect and all that kind of stuff. And I keep telling myself that, okay, my family, they're flawed like everybody else. I'm flawed like everybody else. And when I try to combat my object constancy, I tell myself that despite all those wrongs that my family dynamics put me through to become the person that I am, there are probably instances where my family genuinely does care about me, or at least moments where they genuinely do care about me. But I don't know. When it's not black and white, when it comes to relationships, I it makes me uncomfortable. It makes me I I don't like it when there isn't any consistency. I mean, no one does, right? Everybody feels secure in a sense of like predictability, but nothing makes sense. The world's never made sense. I've never made sense to myself. Everything in existence has never made sense to me. And it's all just a cope up until the moment where I'm dead, everyone's gonna die. The dinosaurs got wiped out, so who's to say our species can't get wiped out? We're just egotistical to think that we're going through some sort of like higher destiny or whatever. And that's why people believe in religion, if you ask me, to be honest. I do think it's narcissistic that human beings are the only like species on this planet Earth that like make this notion of like some sort of like end goal, because we're too narcissistic to accept the fact that like, oh, we just die and that's it. So we have to invent this notion of a god who supposedly is giving us a chance to redeem ourselves if you're a Christian, whatever, all this kind of stuff. I'm kind of pivoting here because ultimately this video is not just going to be about me, I don't know, complaining about how difficult everything is. Well, Actually, that's not true. What video along this whole like narcissistic personality disorder journey, if you can call it that, isn't about me complaining about everything? I mean, if you have a mental disorder, you're pretty much just complaining about stuff. So I feel like that was a really stupid thing for me to say because mental disorder equals shitty life. Well, when I see everything, I think everything is a shitty fucking life. And people who are happy are the most ignorant motherfuckers ever. And that's why ignorance is bliss. But, you know, away from all of that, because you can typically expect it within like a lot of these videos along this subject that I've made on my channel, this video in particular is going to be about what I think about people that I do like, or at least believe sometimes that I like, or that I at least believe sometimes I appreciate, or whatever, before my object constancy goes out of my way to, fuck me up. So I'm uncomfortable around other people, but something that's never made sense is that I always feel lonely. I feel like I shouldn't desire something that makes me uncomfortable. And that's pretty much how it feels for me in any social arena because I don't know where I'm supposed to be honest. Like, I feel safer when I'm not around other people, but then when I'm by myself, which I usually am because I'm pretty, introverted despite the little amount of friends that I still do at least somewhat try to keep up with. Any of them that do still somewhat try to keep up with me. I'm not comfortable within. So I guess I just remain an introvert, not necessarily by choice. Well, yes, it is choice because I think like it is my nature at least, but at least like I'm trying to explain something and I don't know if this is gonna like make sense or not. But okay, basically I'm just uncomfortable everywhere. So I don't know if I'm supposed to be with people. I don't know if I'm supposed to be alone. I don't know what I need. And I'm prepared now to know that on my last and final day, I might never actually, achieve any sort of like contentment whatsoever. I guess when I think about like my last day on Earth, I just think, okay, wow, this is it. I mean, I wasn't expecting anything else. I mean, no one can expect anything else, right? I mean, death inevitably catches up with everybody from the looks of it, and I'll just stop existing forever. And I'll think to myself, wow, I won't be wasting time anymore because I won't be able to do anything. The what I understood about life that I've always thought a lot of people have like a difficult time understanding, which is basically pretty much like my nihilistic, outlook and whatnot. I think about possibly my last day on Earth. If I know that's my last day on Earth, I don't know, let's say if I was dying of a disease or some shit, or I don't know, what if hypothetically I'm in one of those situations, I go somewhere where assisted suicide is legal and I say, okay, you know what? I'm down for it. I have finally had enough. I don't know. And it's just, yeah, I look back on my memories and I think to myself, yep, that's what it is. Like just memories. My life never existed anywhere, only within myself. So egotistical. And that's why I don't like our species. We're so egotistical, even though I'm very egotistical. So maybe that's also like a projection in and of itself. Well, I see us human beings and I think to myself, why like the circumstances in which we were brought, you know, are so like fucking like dumb and nonsensical. And yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So it's just pointless, empty noise. It's just physical properties going all over the place, random sound waves, random waves of light, whatever it is, nature, reality. It's all dumb and it's all stupid. But I really need to get to the fixed point, I guess, of like what I wanted to talk about in this video. And it's yes, for people that I do somewhat like, that I do somewhat tolerate sometimes, if anything at all, because I always feel like I truly actually just hate everyone and I hate myself and I hate everything. Um, I don't like the people that they know, to be honest. It makes me super uncomfortable because I think it actually takes a lot for me to trust somebody. I don't know if I should even be saying that because I'm not even sure if I do trust anybody at all. But um, the people that I do know, and I see just how more normal they are, perhaps, or hell, even better at being normal than me, let's just say. And, you know, I meet other people. I mean, everybody was a stranger to you at one point. So a lot of this might not even have like a sense of like clarity, but like it was just like a lot of stuff that I was, thinking about. And I don't like other people in the picture whenever it comes to like my relationships and whatnot. When I'm, or at least like, I think like I recall a lot of times in my life when I maybe was a kid and I was just like getting to know like other people at school, perhaps, and maybe I made friends with one particular person or I was friendly with like one particular person and other people were there and I just didn't like the fact that there were a whole bunch of people commenting on everything. There were a whole bunch of people like saying whatever they wanted to say about something because I always found it easier to deal with people whenever it was more like one on one because I could just focus on this person. I could just like think about like their intentions, but then like basically a whole bunch of other people make a whole like new set of factors and then I have to like try and psychoanalyze this person, that person instead of like this one person, or what will I do to make one person say this about me to somebody else. And it's just so like frustrating and exhausting. And I think the reason why I don't like people the people that I like know is because yes, again, I don't really trust people, or I have a hard time trusting people, like in general. So if I do bring myself into a mindset that, oh, this person is actually, like quite decent enough, I almost feel like they don't deserve to be with those other people. That's why I think when I talk to somebody and it's just like one on one, it's like I almost always have shit to say about somebody else. Like, why the fuck were they like that? Why the fuck did they do this? Blah, 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 and like things like that. And maybe sometimes it's warranted, maybe sometimes it's not. But when I am with somebody I like, I truly do just feel like perhaps this is the only person that can actually get me because I'm making somewhat of an effort to include them in my world, so to speak, which I guess is like very like naturally like super guarded and stuff. So it's like even though I hypothetically perhaps actually like do care about this person, I almost see them as a fool for getting along with like others. So I think when I hang out with people, actually I don't even do this so much anymore, but I guess like I am just making this video because like I could slip up into these tendencies, like whatever. I mean like my NPD is always something that I have to manage because I know constantly there's always something that I might slip up and potentially I don't know, ruin my life, ruin somebody else's life. I don't know. Like that's the thing that sucks about having a cluster B disorder. It's like you always have to second guess yourself because nothing ever feels safe or appropriate. Or it's like you reach this point where it's like, is everything that I'm gonna do for the rest of my life pretty much just like half-assed? So I think naturally I do distance myself from other people. And even when there are certain people that I actually do like, and I see that they might have like closer relationships with like other people, like I still feel sorry for them. Or my object constancy will like flip this switch again where it's like, why would I put energy into caring about this person? Like they can all clearly be stupid together because no one's gonna get me. No one's gonna, understand me. Like I'm on a lane that's just, you know, not like just not something that anyone else can understand at all. I'm not even sure if I can understand it like, myself. But I guess if you have a mental illness, that's just how like you feel about it. Cause I mean like you're the odd one out. You're like whatever. So I like people, but I don't like that I like people, or I do like that I don't like people. I don't know. None of it like ever makes any sense. And I don't know, it's like the more people that are around me, the more toxic it just feels. But maybe I do need more people around me because I'm so toxic within myself, and I genuinely need to know that perhaps other people do like me, or I don't. I don't know what I need. I don't know what I want. I just know that, like, okay, if we're chill, uh, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, I think like that's a pretty good job on like my part then, because if you know me and like we're chill or like whatever, I probably have things to say about the people you know that would just not make you, I don't know, like wanna associate with me. Maybe it'll make you think, what do you think about me? And truth be told, it can get pretty ugly. I don't have the greatest view of humanity, myself, or you know, anything. And if you saw my video about like mirroring, that's what I have to do constantly in the sense where it's like I'm just trying to present like everybody else because if if I were myself truly, if I could be myself to like the highest capacity around like most people, if they could see the real me, if that even counts, I don't even know, then they would be as exhausted as I am. But I don't know if someone like me could like ever actually belong. So I guess I'll always have to pretend. I'll always have to mirror. I'll always have to play some sort of like role or like performance unless I just like truly end it all myself. But I don't think I'm gonna do that. I'm still pretty strong thus far, no matter like how terrible this feels. I mean, I'm gonna upload this video up, so I'm making it. You're watching it. So yeah, I'm here. I don't know what this does for any of you that do enjoy watching this. I don't truly know what I even make these videos for, to be honest. I don't know like what it even is for me. I mean, perhaps it is just enjoyable like watching myself, like hearing what I have to say because it's a puzzle that I will constantly try to solve for the rest of my life. And that might be a universal experience for everybody. Everybody is always learning who they are. But like, I think like that's the difference between like everybody's always learning. Like nobody will truly understand this like hellish empty abyss unless you're a cluster B individual like as well. It's like yeah, we're in the same group. Like only you know, only you and I know. So if like people might watch this, they might hear this, and they just like might not get it, but you're filling in the blanks that nobody else will truly understand apart from us in this like horrible condition, in this horrible existence, in this horrible life, in this horrible uh reality. Well, I said a whole bunch of stuff, so I guess I'll just end it there.